Hello everyone, my name is Serpentinite5 and today I'm going to do something that I have never done before, which feels a little exciting to say the least since, while I've kind of always said that I would eventually do other things than just unboxing videos and crappy gameplay clips. And here is, well, the first of those, which is well, as the title suggests, it's my first impressions of Alien Isolation. So, I believe I said in my unboxing video that I was really looking forward to it, but I was skeptical because of a few reasons. Mainly because I still had Aliens Colonial Marines fresh in my mind. Sega is one of the publishers that I like the least. And well, the developers Creative Assembly have firstly they've never done anything like this before. Secondly, their last game was quite buggy from what I've heard and seen. I've never played it myself. However, when the scores came out and they were mostly good, I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm just so gonna get this. So yeah, here I am. I have played a few hours of it, and unless something has gone catastrophically wrong, there should be gameplay in the background. So yeah, let's just get to my actual impressions. So for those of you that don't know what Alien Isolation is, it is, well, it's essentially like a horror game like Amnesia or Outlast, where you have this monster hunting for you and you can't exactly kill it, so you have to run and hide instead. Well, that's Alien Isolation pretty much in a nutshell, if you want to go that way. The major difference is, well, it's AAA, which the others aren't. And it's a xenomorph that is hunting you, which is jolly good. Ah. So, the story goes like that you play as Amanda Ripley, and she has been searching for her mother for the last 15 years, I believe. Uh, with the when after she was gone, after the events of the original Alien movie, which I actually rewatched the night before the release of this game. So then she comes to the Sevastopol station, and you guessed it right, things go to hell. So you have to, well, basically find out what's going on while also surviving at the same time. And I must say that uh, as far as story is concerned, I can't really say whether I think it's good or not, since I'm not that far into the game. However, I kind of have an issue, not so much with the story, but rather the cutscenes. And it's not that I think, oh, the cutscenes are bad. No, that's not it. It's just that uh, the game plays in a first-person view, but whenever you get a cutscene, it switches to showing Ripley. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, really. It's just that um, when a cutscene plays, it kind of feels like I'm thrown out of um, my immersion. And if you watch my unboxing of the joystick that I got, you know I'm a big sucker of immersion. um, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's kind of still. but otherwise, oh yeah, and for some reason the cutscenes seem to uh, well drop in frame rates for some reason. I don't know why. Um, I played this game on the PlayStation 4, so I don't know if it's something that is a problem only for that format or if it's for the other platforms as well. I don't really know. But anyway, as I said, I feel that kind of throws you out a little bit of the immersion. But when I'm not thrown out of the immersion, man, I'm really into this game. Um, well, because the atmosphere is just great. I mean, it's uh, I don't know, like atmosphere is for me kind of hard to explain really because it has great atmosphere. That doesn't tell me much, but it's all I can tell really. It really feels like well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of well, it has a great atmosphere. I mean, it really feels very frightening and a bit scary, especially when some music is playing and it really just adds on to the atmosphere. And well, it's mainly deserted areas you visit, so you're always on the lookout for anything that might come after you. One thing I'm very glad about though is that aside from a sort of QTE moment, there hasn't really been any jump scares in this game, which like most horror games these days tend to rely on them as their main source of horror, kind of like the Dead Space series. And while the Dead Space games do that well, it's not something I want in every single horror game I play. So it's great to see something that, for the most part, does not focus on the jump scare effect. Really, instead it just builds up the horror through the atmosphere, and when something scary happens, I mean, it does feel very frightening. And I think the developers kind of hit a good sweet spot in that it's, at least for me, it's scary to play, and I'm always like where I'm like, what happens if I go here? What happens if I open that door? Oh no, there's someone there. So yeah, it kind of feels scary, but at the same time, it doesn't feel so scary that I can't handle too much after a while. For an example, after pretty much every hour in the first Dead Space, I had to shut off. I could not play more than 1 hour in one session. It's not really the same case here, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Sometimes it does feel like it's a bit too much that I just have to shut down, but yeah, they seem to have hit a good balance of sorts in it's scary versus it's too scary, so I don't want to play or I can't play anymore right now. So I mean, that's always something. What else? Well, aside from the titular alien, you also have a few other enemies, such as other humans and androids. And at first you might think, oh no, not this again, because last time they put humans in an alien game, well, that was Aliens Colonial Marines, and I think we all know how that game went. The difference here is that it's rather done well. The other humans, they are survivors. They can't. I mean, they are very cautious. They won't always try to shoot at you right away. I have encountered a group of what am I doing? A group of human survivors that when they saw me, they pointed a gun to me, but they didn't shoot. They instead told me to back off, which I did. They lowered the guns, and we all were happy until I tried to enter that room again, which they shot at me directly. But yeah. And then there's also the androids, which well, I haven't killed any humans, but I suspect there are. I mean, I found a gun now, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But the androids I have not been able to kill yet, although I did spend an entire magazine of pistol shots in one of them, and it did not die. I was like, oh no! And well, they're quite tough, to say the least. And then there's the alien, which well, for a bit more than an hour ago, I actually met for the first time. Well, the first proper moment with the alien, and well, once he catches you, you're dead. That's it. There's no way to stop him. You may be able to distract him, but mostly I tend to hide because I don't want to be discovered. And the thing with the enemies in this game is that they have a really good AI, I must say. Except for maybe there was one moment where the alien was a bit wonky. It stood right in the doorway as I was on one side, slightly behind something. I mean, but it wasn't enough, so it should not have seen me. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. Yet it just stood there, looked somewhat at my way, but did not go for it, and then it just went somewhere else. So I was like, what? Oh, well, anyway, so yeah, the AI is good, very good in this game, mainly because usually in stealth-based games, the AI has a programmed pattern. So, and of just watching them for a few moments, you're like, alright, so that's where they patrol. And while they do patrol in this game, in that sense, it's not really predictable. Instead, they are quite unpredictable, and it's hard to, well, you really have to guess, and you might not have guessed right about where they're going to go and what they may be able to do. A great example is with the alien, who is actively searching for you. He's not going around some pattern. He is looking for you. That's the case with the other enemies, but more importantly with the alien, since no, it's the most deadly. So you may be able to hide. However, just because I hide in a locker or something like that didn't seem to automatically make the alien unable to find me. There was a few instances where even though I held the breath and I leaned back, well, not me, but I made the character do that, and was perfectly still. He still bashed it open and took me out and killed me. So I don't know, or maybe I did a mistake there. I'm not sure, but yeah, to the AI do seem to be very good. As I said, that they don't have this. Well, at least they don't seem to have this pre-programmed pattern that they're just following, like, I don't know, slaves. But instead they are actually programmed to hunt for you. So they are quite unpredictable. Something else to mention. Well, aside from sneaking and hiding, you also have to scavenge for stuff so you can craft several tools, which so far I haven't really used anything aside from the med kit, but it's probably a good idea that I start to use the other things as well, because, well, they are there to be used after all. Well, the last thing I'm going to touch on are the graphics, which looks quite nice, I must say. As far as the aesthetics go, or, well, the overall design, excuse me, they have done a very good job at, well, recreating the same kind of design choices that they had in the original Alien movie, where everything was designed by how they thought it was going to look in the future during that time. So it was the 90s, no, 70s, sorry. So in the 70s they designed the interior of the ship and all based on how they thought everything was going to look like in the future. Now we had the same kind of design in the game, so it really feels like a truth told. Well, that's kind of maybe the wrong word, but I think you get the point. They have they really sorry. Oh, I can't talk now. They have stayed very faithful as far as the design goes, is what I want to say. But not only did the design looks good, the technical aspect also does look very good. Especially the lightning effects, at least. Yeah, the lightning effects was something that I was maybe a little bit more impressed with. But overall, it is a very good looking game. That I can tell you. Well, yeah, that's kind of it, really. That's my impressions of the game, of this game so far, after a couple of hours and one encounter with the alien, and I'm kind of dreading to go back, while at the same time I also feel excited to play more again. it is a really good game. That I can tell you. uh, I know I've said in the past that I've always wanted to do reviews, and well, I don't think I'm going to go that route, so I will not give a score, because partly of that and partly because, well, I've only played a couple of hours really, so I can't really give you a full picture anyway. But yeah, that's what I feel about this game so far, and I do look forward to play some more of it. Although it's kind of that damn alien. I think I may do something special once I finish the game. I'm not going to tell you what exactly, but it's going to be hopefully fun. And yeah, I mean, I might live stream some of this game, since I can do that on the PS4, but I can't really promise anything though, since I'm not really sure how it works. So I'm going to have to look up that, and I also don't know how accessible it is for other for other people, because if it's only if it's quote unquote locked to well, the PlayStation completely, so that might be some problems if you don't have a PS4. So yeah, maybe some of you will be like, oh, you noob, you have a PS4 but you don't know how it works. Well, I don't really. So I'm going to have to look up how it works exactly, and if I can, I might live stream a bit, some bits of this game, but we'll see. But yeah, I think I've said for what feels like the 100th time that well, I don't have anything else to say now. So yeah, this was my first impressions of Alien Isolation, and since it is my first kind of well, since this is my first video of this kind, I would really appreciate if you could tell me in the comment section below how I did and what I could improve on, because there's probably something I'm certain that there are areas I could improve on, and having some feedback would really help. Or if you're just lazy, I suppose you can just like or dislike the video, but I would really appreciate it if you could give me some constructive feedback. It would help me a lot. So, with everything I can think of to say, I am signing off now, and I'll see you guys some other time.